express her more, but she could have been, not even noticed had I not been judging her, you see. Then she would have just been one of the pixels in enlightened mind. But she was the one I judged, so that was the one in which we had to hang out with, and I had to become in order to bring her back into unity and equanimity with all the frequencies within me. And so moving the hips is a very beautiful thing, but opening up yourself to express yourself as your feminine energy. This brings in the sensual movement of elegance. We both have this ourselves. And like I said, it can seem difficult, it can seem out of place, it can seem out of character, but that's what we want. We want out of character. We want out of the box. We want out of the limitations, out of the limited form. We want limited form. I don't know. I wanted to say it that way. And we want to allow ourselves to express its every possible emotional feeling or frequency or expression. That way we don't have to hold on to them for too long, but also not too short, always then fine-tuning ourselves to the formlessness of the moment as a human is able. This way of perceiving pure awareness and moving with this vehicle, this amazing, beautiful vessel in which is able to realize liberation here in the center of the middle way as the embodiment of such, the flame, the jewel that is in the lotus, the flame that is in the heart. Om Mani Padme Hum. So yeah, very good. Glad you're working on the hips. It's awesome. And good God, Caroline, that was fucking insane. That was so good. That was like the greatest mastery ever. Like when you did that, I've never seen something so beautiful. My goodness, you're such a warrior. I brought my spine erect to just like, oh my goodness. Wow, and brought me to focus too. I'm like, wow, alright, we were really bringing it up. And so that was just phenomenal. You really, really, really connected with your breath. Oh, and something you could notice, Mr. Dayton, was her connection with her breath, and so her connection with her legs and her kicks were very nice. And you have a beautiful connection with yourself as well. And so the connection with your breath is a big deal. You see how strong she got her breath. Could you show us just a little bit more with your breath, Miss Caroline? You don't have to show us something crazy or anything, but just like, just maybe just, because we can hear your breath so well. So that's, when you just do your breath, we can hear it, and so it's very nice. And this will help you understand a little bit more if you can watch her. And then through awareness, just seeing awareness, it begins the ability to have a mocking pattern, the ability to repeat that which they saw, unless we're unable to embody other people's frequencies because we're holding our character too strongly. But you could actually pretend to be her. You know what I mean? And in some way, it would be like harmonizing with the attunement that is her frequency, her line of energy, where it's coming into this whole reality. That's how I'm able to speak with people as they speak and things like this. We have video recording of this already too. It's very beautiful. But everybody's able to do this already. It's just by tuning in, harmonizing. But if we hold a form to ourselves, we're unable to feel the entirety of another person's being. And so we can't ever actually feel that expression. So that's why you can actually obtain mastery through just seeing a master, if you're able to mock the master in a certain sense. But then you would have to be able to see it. Now, seeing a master and mocking a master may be easier than mocking somebody like, say, a female or one of these other chord shapes, like your sexual expression or something like that, the female inside with the male inside. But all of these different funny gestures, even like a fat man laughing, or all of these different feelings or feelings that embody energies that allow us a limitless formlessness to our nature that can bring in the unity of many ways. Experiential expressions can be expressed through many places in life, but now coming to the equanimity of a chord shape that allows a unity to bring into focus very powerful, beautiful, liberating frequencies for the whole of consciousness. Liberating because they show that, hey, look, this is what it looks like when all these energies express through being in unity. You see, there's no volatility at all. There's nothing to be afraid of. Is great beauty, only great, powerful, activating energy, things that are helping everything around, just through the radiance of its authentic expression, its effortless and natural nature. As humans all are, always naturally. Very beautiful are we humans. So many times we don't like us. We are the most gorgeous in creation. All of creation sings songs for us, And as do we also for it. We're all here for one another. I realized in Huntington State Park in West Virginia, on top of a mountain, hearing a banjo echo through the mountainsides and smoking my last bowl of weed on cough and cold medicine, that everything was made for us and us for it as well. We're here in symbiosis. The trees breathe what we let out, and we breathe what it lets out. It's just so gorgeous, how amazing, how phenomenal. What's the realization then? And here we are breathing. And Reyes really connected with her breath, and that's the big deal. Because she connected with her breath, and then she went into this aggression, anger flow, because she brought her aggression back into her, you see. She got upset. And so this was a great wisdom that brought to her in her life, to where she got upset. And so now she was able to bring in that upset energy, because she was too gentle before. And so that upset energy actually came into her, because she is so meek, so humble, so already realized in an amazing way. Is able to unite with her in this very beautiful balance. And she did plenty of teaching as well. Well, you see, it was just finally she welcomed her friend back to the party. And maybe you call it anger, agitation, frustration, I'm not sure what you call it. But it's some realm of frequential momentum that provides an amplitude of frequency that gives precision, deliberateness, direction, impeccability, insane precision with your emotion. Look at this. It's just wonderful, the power and on-time motion is. Right now she's slowing down a lot, but you can hear the breath as well, very quiet. So when she's more in her breath and out of her thought, her breath becomes louder, it seems. But sometimes the breath can become quieter, but you can always tell, even when the breath is quieter, it's got this powerful amplitude to it. And so that's the same thing with the voice, the throat, all of these things. Anger or frustration is really like an assertiveness, or a way in which to have an amplitude or a certain magnitude of energetic potential with the body. It's like if you're running really fast in a race, you could see that maybe as aggression, but nobody would ever see that, because it's a very balanced, very beautiful thing, no volatility occurring. And so too also with her. Even though it may seem that these are fighting looking martial arts, there's no volatility happening. You don't feel in any danger. There's a great balance, a great martial arts status nature, a great mastery of skill here, a great breath connection. So you see, you're not going to find in this full expression volatility possibility. But this only can be found, the lack of frustration, through the fullness of expression of all the energies here now present. And if she was to be more gentle, she'd end in frustration, because she's not getting all the way where she's trying to go. A lot of people feel their great frustration finding relief through getting in a fight, and this is like the greatest 100% animosity that they can give. But then they find their place of peace. See, but you could express yourself in these ways, allowing your energies to move through. It wouldn't have to contain volatility and physical action towards another being. But it's just simply welcoming everything to the party. So I was thinking about you earlier, and I was thinking about a way that I could discuss, and hoping that I could make some kind of drawing. But it would be like, right now you have an energetic pattern that's shaped like your body, and it has dots that are spaced out in a particular way. And then you have an energy body that's right behind your energy body, and it's shaped just like your energy body, shaped just like your actual body, and it's got dots that are like italics in writing on the computer, and so they're like spaced out kind of similar, but they're kind of like italic, so you can tell that they're a little different. And if you were to welcome this part of your body back to the party, you would add surface area that would give you greater dimension of flow and greater understanding in how it is that energy is moving constantly through many different planes of awareness and angles of viewing. And so it's about bringing these things back into the party. So I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she's going to the car, finding something. But yes, very beautiful, amazing flow. She's a master, you see. And it's, everybody is, and we just come into our breath, we come to the moment. But there's a lot of teachings, like I said, that have been very sturdying for her and her path, and so that's why I like that you're here now. That we can help you out, The hips, these are all simple and mundane, but we've been working very intimately on these things. You have things that are very difficult to come to the surface for you, but, there's an insecurity, so you don't feel comfortable and safe in the same manner that she does, And, of course, she feels comfortable and safe because I cradle her in my arms, and I love her deeply, and so I give her this great romantic intimacy. And I don't give her this like I'm giving it to, like, she owes me something in return, like she doesn't give me the same. Like, no, no, we're here genuinely with one another, authentically, I very much love her, you know. She's so freaking amazing. It's just the greatest blessing in the world to be with her always. And so she feels this great space, in some manner. And she's always here. It's not like she has any time off from the penetratingness of my direct gaze in some way. And she has no need, but she's watching me all day, every day, doing this herself, and she loves me. So she has this ability to, like, open up herself. Maybe you want to remain yourself. I don't know how it's going, but I don't care to make anybody like myself. But still, I like to work with people quicker. It's better when we don't fight each other. And I like this. This is very beautiful. You see, it has a great benefit, great merit. She's risen so fast, you see. So how's the moving of your hips? Would you like to continue, please? It'd be good for you. You can even go in the field. Breathe, though. That's what we want to show you with her breath. And so you could breathe deep into your hips. Breathe deep into your mouth and allowing your breath to move you. If you experiment with this, surely it'll come about spontaneously. I don't know. Maybe we gotta piss you off like she was all pissed off, Maybe that's why I am all, mean or funny with you or whatever from time to time, about gayness or whatever else is your sexual obscuration stopping you from being able to come into that feminine energy. Maybe your attachment to being a man, I don't know, whatever it is. But you're your heart, you're androgynous, you're male and female, yin and yang, everything united, very beautiful. And so you gotta allow yourself to really be your heart, in between all those judgments, all those ideas, all those labels, all those identities. Allow yourself to be something that is free from these, pure awareness embodied. If awareness came into form right now, just as awareness was, imagine how crazy awareness is, awareness is like, wow. And it was able to move without anything, you think awareness would care, oh, whatever, I'm gonna play right now, this right now, whatever. Awareness is free. Whoa. And that's the you that really wants to come to the surface. When I come in, awaken the dragon within, my frequency span the whole city around me. My like wings from my back, my magnetic field is the entire city. I resonate and hold space for the whole city. That means I had to actually have the capacity to have all that energy within my field. That means I had to have enough energy myself to hold all that. I had to be greater in some way or higher in my ability to resonate and vibrate. It's crazy. And at that time, I was having this voice, so it was myself. I was thinking here I am, for allowing myself to come through. Allowing awareness to finally come through uninhibited, that I finally surrendered so much. Here I was, the heart was finally here, the heart was awake. So this was very big. And then there's a big journey on releasing my inhibitions, my insecurities, the things that would stop me from moving in any way. I knew that I had to move in all the ways. I could see past my judgment finally, though. I knew everything was myself in such a way. I felt wrong for loving things over other things, and then I found that it was okay for me to love what I loved or preferred. And not that I don't love everything equally, but I was able to, like, make love with this person that I wanted to make love. I don't have to make love with this person if I don't want to, But I can be very loving always and grateful, authentic, or however. And this welcoming into all these energies, this was here's the rising of the Kundalini, becoming in the feminine energy, the bringing back to unity the male and the female within me through forgiveness of both of their sides, everything within them, and then finally releasing my own male gender in myself and allowing myself to become androgynous in my consciousness, to marry my right into my left and spin them together to a sphere in front of me and understand myself as the in-between space, the heart space, pure awareness, emptiness. All the routes of forgiveness, unconditional love for all beings everywhere without one exception. These are the types of things that I wish that you would, find within yourself, but also when sharing teachings with others, that you that you remember in fullness all the things that I give you, you know. That's why it's not good for students to be teaching people. I don't go and teach what my Lama taught me. I was not empowered to teach those teachings. You know, some of them are simple, but I'm not empowered to teach those teachings. The teachings need to come from my Lama, so you get the entire root of the entire teachings. These teachings are stem from my direct experience and consciousness, my direct realization. I have the fullness of these teachings. I have the ability to transfer these teachings. Um, you're still coming into these places. But I'm always extremely impeccable as not to mislead. This comes from this and this and this and this and this. And I say all these different things to make sure, you know. And so as you receive these things, you're receiving a lot of sturdying. You know, a lot of sturdying. You know, we're talking about this, we're talking about this, we're talking about this, we're moving through this, we're moving through this, we're pointing in that, we're pointing in that, we're pointing in that. We're creating stilts and, you know, crutches. We're creating hold points, balance points. We're creating all kinds of things that can help you rise with stability into a very high form of expression without falling to the sides, into the fight, into the strife, into illusory consciousness, into being overpowered by the great energy that comes to rise. And so we're breaking through the resistances. We're doing all these different things. You know, we're working with you specifically, uniquely. You know, we're working with her specifically, uniquely. You know, so everybody has to be worked through with these ways. And I was taught by this island, Maui, what it means to be a strong tree before you grow other trees. I tried to grow trees before, and I felt like I hurt those trees. Luckily, everything's fine now. But now I'm able to grow trees. So any tree that I grow, I want to mention to them about this thing about growing trees. The Kiawe tree was the tree that showed me, or that was shown to me to show me this, that I needed to grow to be a strong tree. And it was funny, as it gave me this teaching, it was the same time in which I had become a strong tree. Lucky me. I didn't feel quite ready. Here we are years later now. So it's be important, you know, that we be able to stand on our roots. She's with me always hearing the wisdom, but still she leaves certain things out when it comes to it. She's still learning too. So she comes to me now, because I told her, you know, make sure you come to me. And that same day, she left something out, and so we were able to help in some manner. And it's no problem, this, you know what I mean? It's okay. We're all learning and growing. Always just need to be honest with ourselves, you know. If we don't know it, we don't know it. If we know somebody who does know it, then we go and we ask that person who does know it if we need to know it. You know what I mean? We don't have to be the all-knower of everything all the time. We don't have to be that way. You know, I would lead somebody to my teacher. I would lead somebody to my friend or to my guide, to somebody. Where would I go for energy? Where would somebody ask me something? You know, I told her this. And so she was like, okay, well, then I'll ask you now. I got to add this thing, you know. Let me ask Ryan what he says, you know, what he thinks or what he saw or however. And that's very beautiful, you know, how nice. What a cool place to be put on the spot. All I can give, you know, my authentic expression. Of course, you know, luckily for me, you know, she's been learning these things from me anyway, so it makes perfect sense to ask me. But yeah, I like, you know, people going around being teachers and all these things. But, you know, if you become a teacher too soon, you mislead yourself. You know, we must walk the whole path. You know, you have a lot of things coming to realization. This is important. You know, it's been many years. I awakened my mind many years ago. Awakened my heart. This was a big experience. This is where I united my right into my left. You know, this is not a common experience. You know, this is the completion of Mahayana Buddhism. Every monk right now, there's a bodhisattva is practicing for this. You may think that you're greater. But for me to think that you've already awakened your heart, I'm not sure. But these are the startings to that practice, you see. And it's really easy, actually. We have a faster practice than ever before, luckily, you know, as it turns out. Before it was quite hard. But these teachings, these lungs, these empowerments, these activations, these ways I give in fullness, these teachings with impeccability, these are the things that are light codes, that are the keys, that are the algorithmic patterns that I transfer over to you. That's why I like to catch them on the camera, because they'll be caught and they'll be transferred over to that way to everybody. They don't have to look at anybody misleading them. They'll always hear it exactly as it comes through by spirit, by consciousness, by all that it is, right in the center of the moment in which it came spontaneous. And so I think that's beautiful. Nobody be misled anymore by lazy, non-impeccable transferring students or transferring informational students. It's important that we transfer information correctly with each other. There's a lot of realization that comes. Of course, like I said, authenticity leads us always the right way. So as long as we simply are impeccable with our word, completely authentic, honest with where we are, we never have any reason to worry about these kinds of things misleading in any kind of way. It's only if we take upon ourselves the arrogant ego attachment of wishing to be the absolute proprietor of the information which we had, and so embellishing upon ourselves, taking upon a chord shape higher than what it is that we have. We then tell somebody that we know something that we do not know, and we have misled something. So as long as we're always completely honest with ourselves, 100% authentic, 100% impeccable, saying what we do know, what we don't know, how we know, this, that, and the other, coming into fullness with all the things in which we transfer, because we care about ourselves. We understand that this here is ourself. We don't want to be anything lazy with ourselves, do we? Why not be impeccable? Strive always to give fully in every moment, to the best of our ability, of course. We give fully to beings by being authentic and tuning into yourself and knowing yourself naturally is how you can really do that, so you don't have to force yourself to be around anybody. You just be around genuinely whatever's happening, whatever you wish, no problem. And so we're coming into these much more subtle, natural ways. And so I like to make, to move you, make you to a softer way, help you find subtlety, those swifter, easier, natural start points. But we kind of branched off for a little bit. I think it was good, though. I think we integrated really well. We have different growth patterns, and it's this expression thing. So finally we become strong, we're doing good. So, it'd be really wonderful, and if we just work more quickly on things. We can talk about things all the time, but there are other ways that I can direct and help. But would you like to do the breath and the hips now?
I'm tired.
Tired. Okay. Very good. And you don't have to do it for us or anything. You don't have to. We don't have to watch you or anything. It's just something that you can, relaxedly do if you feel like going into at this time. Sorry, I talked so much before. When you were doing it, it's just really wishing to bring through all kinds of different channels and teachings. And I really liked when she showed you the breath. It was very beautiful. She's very good at showing many things. She's very amazing and very impressed. And so I just want to help you rise sturdy as well, my dear brother. And I believe as long as we're impeccable and we remember in fullness, you can tell people how to go into limitlessness, but there are many sturdying structurings that help you understand how to do so without volatility. Unconditional love for all beings everywhere without one exception. Forgiveness, acceptance of oneself within. Transferring teachings is transferring things in fullness. Not just, only one piece, because there's a lot of pieces that go into that to explain it. In a way that allows us to come into a centered frequency with it without the possibility of destroying ourselves. I have given people keys before in a way of laziness or a way of just not knowing, ignorance, and thus laziness through that ignorance in some way from my prudent perspective now by comparison to what it was I would do in my pure nature at this time, with impeccability, of course, And yeah, it had the ability to lead them into such a dark pool of consciousness that they may have been confused for a very great long time. And so it's very important, this transference of information and this thing. Because I'm seeing now how important it is and how serious it is, this practice that's coming through. This is a true lineage. This is being held in a big way, and we're stepping in a huge manner But I am the center of this tree in a big way, or at least has come through me in these teachings in a big way. So I'm transferring these things, and I have the knowledge and the wisdom is given me through consciousness. And so I just wish, now that we can see that yes, you are rising in this same way, and she's rising the same way, we'll make sure you grow good, grow well. We have these videos always too, that you can always refer to. But here you are within my present moment. We'll see what we can do. And this will help us with the male in society. Some way of proving, that this can happen very quickly, safely, and with great stability. Dayton's rising very, very wonderfully. But yeah, we'll see if we can help you get to kind of quicker, funner rates of acceleration for yourself, but also more deliberate in certain senses. And of course at ease. But yeah, Caroline's already doing so good. I feel like, oh man, it's almost like when I worked on the left toe instead of the right toe. It was like, oh no, but now my left toe's way open, my right toe wants to be open, oh shoot. Now I'm balancing. We got our male and our female balancing. I'll be the heart, baby. We can all be the heart if you want. I'm not gonna leave the heart though, so we just have to be equal or something there. Are you recording something?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your flow is really, really phenomenal. Very powerful. Got a little tired in the end, or
No.
just trying out smaller or smoother breath flows?
Yeah.
Oh, very beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad that you got into that big strength and subtlety then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That really helped us bring a nice teaching through also for Dayton. So hope you don't mind me talking while you were doing it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's much easier to do it once you're full in it, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Hard to fall off that.
Mm-hmm.
Could you hear me talking?
Yeah.
But no reason to listen. But no reason not to listen.
I was listening. It was like,
Oh, okay.
I just kept on moving. I don't know. It was almost like I was kind of balanced on what you were saying in a way.
Kind of like you're dancing to my
Yeah,
voice.
yeah.
Very beautiful. Yeah, riding the sound around.
Yeah.
This is exactly like riding the flow of energy, the harmony of the moment. You'll see that you're actually riding like car sounds going by and like all kinds of different tones and things. That's really tuning to the waves of energy happening all around. That's a really amazing flow and probably really helped you come into the feeling into the wind as it was coming and like surrendering to becoming lighter than the wind that was hitting you, allowing your body to be rippled by that wind.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge thing because then you start taking sounds that way. You can actually feel the direction the sound hits you from. You can feel it wave about your body. You already, before I met you, were having this shake in your spine like I had when I was younger. And so you feel energy very well through your spine already. It's super activated.
Mm-hmm.
Your central channel. We're similar. Oh yeah, all three of us. All manifesting generators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing really good. I'm glad he woke up. Decided not to go to bed. I feel nice and sturdy. Usually I feel way more energy at this time. A lot of movement for myself, but right now I feel nice and stable right now for some reason. Very nice. Did you feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think that'll be it for the video, sweetheart. Thank you, everyone. And talk to you later.